fellow travelers, Mark here with Woltersworld, and today we're here in Barcelona, and today what we're going to do is answer one of your questions about travel planning. And Ashley wants to know, Wolters World, how do you plan out your itinerary when you travel? Well, I'll be honest, it starts with deciding where we're going to go. Yes, I know that sounds crazy, right? Deciding where you want to travel, but how do we decide where we're going to travel? Well, sometimes it's what I want to go see or what Jocelyn wants to go see. We let the boys pick destinations every year as well. So part of it is just where would we like to go? But also we ask our fans, hey, where would you like us to film? Where would you like to know about? Like we've gone to Peru and Iceland and Ireland, and we're going to Israel, all kinds of places, because that's what our fans ask for. So that's where we kind of start with, is just determining where we're going to go. Because once we know where we're going to go, then we have to think about the next part, and that is deciding on how long we're going to go for. And where we're going to go might dictate how long we're going to stay. Because some places, yeah, you only need to go for a long weekend. Some places you need a week. Some places you need a month. And so by doing that, it gives us a rough idea of the time frame we have in terms of spending it in that country or in that region or in that city. And also, when is the best time to visit that place? Because yes, visiting Spain is fantastic, but I don't know if I want to come in July where I'd melt, but I also don't know if I want to come in January where it's a lot colder than you think when you think of Spain if you come here in January. So that will influence kind of like our when or our time frame for our travels. Also, the kids' schooling, that comes into play. When do they have free time? Is this a trip we are going as a family, or am I going by myself, or is it just Johnson and myself, or just her? These all kind of factor into that kind of timing side of it. But once we have the destination we're going to go to and the time frame we want to spend, then we start looking at flights, and that's when we're booking our flights. And I like to have some flexibility, because sometimes you might not realize is leaving on a Tuesday or leaving on a Saturday, there might be a $300 difference on the flight, and if there's 4 of us, that's $1,200. I mean, having that flexibility makes a huge difference in the pricing of your flights. So once we have the flight tickets purchased or the train tickets purchased, the next thing we do for our planning is figuring out what are the sites we have to see. Like, what are the must-sees when we're here? We're in Barcelona. What do we want to see? We have to see Sagrada Familia. We got to get to Park Güell, and we want to go in El Born and the Barrio Gótico. Like, those are the things we have to see. And by having those destinations you have to see, or the cities that you have to see in a place, that helps you start to kind of divide up your time, okay? So that kind of goes together, like knowing what you want to see and the sites you want to see and the cities you want to go to, and then dividing up the time you need for each of those different cities. So if I'm coming here to Spain for, 2 weeks, let's say, I'm like, okay, where do I want to go? Well, I want to get to Barcelona because I have friends that live here. I want to get to Madrid because I've worked there, and Jocelyn hasn't gone there yet. And then I want to get down to Cordoba because that's where Jocelyn and I fell in love together. So those are the 3 cities I want to go see. And I look at what's all on offer. How is the transportation between there? How am I going to do those things? And I realize if I got 2 weeks, I'm going to spend the majority of the first week here in Barcelona, and then the next kind of like 5 days, 6 days, I want to spend that in Madrid because there's a lot of stuff there and day trips to do. And then I'm going to finish off with maybe 3 days in Cordoba because it's a smaller town. There's not as much to do, and we're going to be there with the whole family. So it's like, I want to show this to your mom and I, la 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 la, all kinds of fun stuff. And so that's how I kind of break it down. And once I have the day breakdown, like 5 days in Barcelona, 5 days in Madrid, 3 days in Cordoba, then we get our hotels. And Jocelyn is our hotel person. She does all the research on the place to figure out the right place for us for what we need, and that's how we pick that. So now we've got our hotels set up. And so now we figured out where we're going to go. We figured out how long we're going to be. We got our plane tickets booked. We know the sites we want to see. We've got our days broken down. We've got our hotels booked. Now we have to figure out our transportation between the different destinations. How am I going to get from Barcelona to Madrid? Well, there's a train that goes there. Or if we want to fly, we could fly to there. But I know there's that transportation, so I can get it booked. So I usually book morning trains out because, yeah, we have breakfast at the hotel, then we head to the train station and take off. So when we get to Madrid, hey, it's close to check-in at our hotel there, so we can drop off our bags, go have some tapas, go see the Plaza Mayor, head back and enjoy our time there. And then I do the same thing, think about how do I get from Madrid to Cordoba? Oh, there's a train that goes down through there. I have my time frame there, and I book those. And that's one thing, is if you're going to be traveling in Europe or the US, if you're going to be buying train tickets, booking them ahead of time is a significant savings. I mean, we were in Italy for a month last year, and we bought all our tickets beforehand, saved us over $500, or 500 euros, if you will, on train tickets just because we bought early. And once you have all this kind of set up, one thing I think is really helpful in kind of your travel planning, your itinerary, is if you make yourself like a Word document or an Excel document or whatever you want to use, like write it up on the wall if you'd like. Maybe not your wall, your mom might get mad at you. But you know, if you want to put together your itinerary so you have where you're going to be each day, which day should we see which site, where are we going to be staying, and share some of those important numbers. Because I know when I travel, I give my parents our itinerary, here's where we're going to be in case something happens. If you can't get a hold of me on the phone, here's my hotel that you can call there and set those things up. So, Ashley, I hope this helps you have a better idea how we plan our trips. How do you plan your trips? Please let us know in the comments below so other people can learn better ways to travel and prep their itineraries to have a great trip. Bye from here in Barcelona.